Anish, congratulations on your win today. And how are you feeling? And can you take us through today's game?
Yeah, really happy. I was lucky. I had small pressure in the opening. At the beginning, I was really thrilled when he gave the bishop. I thought it's a huge advantage for me. Then I started noticing all sorts of counterplay for him. Knight always jumping everywhere. I couldn't make anything work. My initial plan was to... one thought was maybe not to trade knights. Then I realized I have to trade knights. Although I had heard somewhere some rule that if you have bishop pair and against bishop and knight, if you also both have knight extra, it's better for you. So suddenly this rule flashed through my head, but somehow in this position I couldn't make it work. I think maybe because my knight is going to be misplaced. So I couldn't really keep the knight in a good way, so I traded it, and then I wanted to just put my rook on like d1 or c1, but I couldn't make anything work, because if I go rook c1, I saw some insane move like knight f6, bishop b7, rook b8. I don't know, like I couldn't. He trades my bishop somehow, and then if I go rook d1, I goes rook d7, rook a8, and there is some knight f4 tactic which he blundered in a similar position against Wesley So once, so I couldn't make that work either. So then I went e4, didn't see knight f6, and then knight to d7 to c5, so I had to go bishop f4. Then knight d7 came to c5, I had to go before, and then he was going knight f8, e6, d4 all the time. So I somehow just couldn't make it work, you know, like it's, if I would have a few tempi I would be better, but I couldn't quite make anything work. And at that point I was already spent a lot of time quite frustrated, and I was already very happy to actually take this position with the two bishops against bishop and knight. But then when we got it, I realized it's just probably dead fortress. I think he can even put a pawn on b5, pawn on a6, knight on d7. If he gets g5, and it will be even easier. If not, it should be also okay. Maybe I can press because I can reroute my bishop maybe to a2. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I will press, of course. I don't know if I have any chance at all. Okay, maybe I have. It's hard to say, but anyway, it must be draw with the margin. And he did also okay. And actually, he did it like really precise. At some point, he was coming knight e6, and then I realized if I don't allow knight d4, bishop e2, king e3, now he got g5. And bishop on b5, pawn on g5 is like totally dead. And I realized, okay, I gotta go then f4. I was hoping he will not go knight e6, knight d4, because I'm bluffing that I have something, but he did. So I think he was like ultra precise, not give me any, because he can also just go passive, like knight to d7, and just probably should like for sure hold. But he was like ultra precise, but then he missed this bishop f1 move, which I noticed. And I realized that that could be like an epic trick, because it reminded me of a game of FIDE yesterday, because I'm threatening pawn endgame, completely winning pawn endgame with all this tempi. So I thought like, oh, that would be really epic, bishop f1. But then of course, first of all, it cannot be that you win like that. I mean, black didn't do any mistakes. Obviously, like he played really natural moves, he shouldn't be losing. And then I noticed that of course he has knight f3, and he wants to go knight e2, knight c4, and if I go king e2, he goes knight h2. If I go king g2, which was my hope for a long time, then he has actually knight e1 check. King f1, knight f3 back. So then I started to think really long, and then I realized he's afraid of king e2, knight h2, bishop b5, and then my king will walk to c5, b6. And the more he thought, the more I decided that I'm going to actually do this. But I really didn't think this should be winning for white, because he's got, first of all, like, I'm really slow with this king to b6 and a6, and he's got the h pawn, and okay, my bishop, you know, controls both flanks, so I could be winning somewhere, and I guess I don't have risk at all, so I would have done it for sure. But it's hard to imagine that white can really win there. And yeah, I saw after I checked with the engine, it's draw different ways, which doesn't surprise me. But somehow he just got really worried about it, which I understand, but he should still do this, because what he did is kind of the same thing, except I keep the h1. I guess he missed my bishop d4 move, but anyway, what he did is very shaky. I think king c4, king d5 there also looks winning. I don't know, I'm really lucky. Like, he actually played kind of well, and then he sort of, when he was like, I mean, if he was worried earlier, he could have just played passively and held it in a passive way, but he sort of was playing sort of well, and then after he missed bishop f1, he was so unsettled that somehow, yeah, it's a bit unlike him. He also is not a slow player, but somehow I was very lucky that he got unsettled and did something really bad.
Amazing. As we know, Jorden is your countryman, and you know him pretty well. Was there something special you've prepared for him, or like how was that?
Yeah, we know each other really, really well. So yeah, I was thinking, what is he thinking of? Because we played tons of games. Not all of them are tournament games, so we played even more games outside tournaments. So we know each other repertoire inside out. We know how we both think. Like, I mean, we even tell each other how we both think. It's not like, because let's say I know like how, I don't know, like Carlson thinks, yeah, but not because he ever told me, it's because of I've experienced. But with Jorden, we literally spoke like So he knows how I think because I told him how I think. So I know how he thinks because he told me how he thinks. So of course people always evolve and things change, but there was a lot of we both had a lot of inside information. I anticipated that he could do something like this. I still didn't expect it because it's not really in his nature. Maybe in the end it sort of paid off that it's not really his type of play to do this, but he's versatile enough that he can do this, and I was really just lucky that I won. But in terms of openings, everybody knows. I mean, that's not a thing. Like everybody knows everything, but still, we know each other a bit better. And I don't know. I think today it was maybe to my advantage, although it's hard to say. It's really hard to say because sometimes you both know something, and it's often like sometimes you'll say look at a particular line, and often you have a situation where the guy is not going to play the line because you looked at it together, but actually you've looked at it together, but you have no idea what to do against it anyway. Like you didn't find any improvement. Like let's say you looked at it with the guy, and then afterwards you could try to find improvement on those analyses, but you just didn't find any improvement. So you have the same conclusion as you did with him. So you could just go there anyway. So you have these situations, for example. But it's fun. I actually already worked with many players, so I often play somebody I know really well. I'm kind of used to the situation already, and it's extra fun because you've got this extra insight, and like you can again, because you both know, like he could still play it, he could then not play it, so you're kind of fun. Nowadays, also there's in general so much information, like we know all so much theory, but nobody remembers anything, so it's kind of fun.
Yeah, with this win, you're on 6.5 out of 8, and 9, and last 2 rounds to go. How are you feeling?
I think it's a decent standing. I'm really happy that I have a shot, because it could easily be that you play a tournament like this and with 2 rounds to go you have no shot. Last year I had good FIDE circuit chances, so I wasn't desperate at all, but in terms of FIDE Grand Swiss qualification last year with 3 rounds we have, or 2 rounds? How many rounds? We have 3 rounds left, or?
Now?
Yes.
2 rounds.
Only 2 rounds left.
The 9th round, right?
Yeah, okay, I'm ready to play 5 more rounds, or 25. But last year with 3 rounds to go, I lost chances. And I won all my last 3 games and only finished in the top 10, but not above, not in top 2. So now I'm in a much better situation, which is great because, I always talk about the journey, not the destination. And at least, I'm still on the journey, whether I reach destination or not. Like, I'm really grateful to, because it's really hard here. You just have to be lucky. Like, I play so many great players, and they're great on no matter how much points you have. Like, as long as you are on a good score, plus score, like everybody's really, really strong and really well prepared. So you just have to be really lucky. And I know that I can be one of the lucky ones, and I hope I will be. But I can also be an unlucky one. So we'll see. But for now, it's good that I have a shot, and I'll give it my best. And I'm really excited to play the last 2 games.
Amazing. Thank you, Anish, and all the very best for the last 2 rounds.
Thank you.